Well, spring training is in full swing, and that means the party is back at Tempe Beach Park. The gates are officially open at the Innings Festival for a weekend of baseball, live music, and fan experiences are all right along the water. It is the ultimate spring training celebration with live concerts, baseball-themed activities, and meet and greets with Major League stars. Tonight, Mumford & Sons headlines. Saturday, it's 21 Pilots, and Sunday, Blink 182 takes the stage. Tickets are still available at inningsfestival.com. However, there are some real safety concerns that people still need to think about when they go out to these festivals. So joining us now is Jackson Ross with Shapiro Law Team for advice. Jackson, thanks so much for being here. Okay, so you've got these big crowds, and sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes people get a little out of control. What should people be mindful of?
Yeah, so at these festivals, they can be really fun events, but they also carry with them some risks. So things people should be mindful of are, crowd behavior. There's been some incidences in the past where people can get rowdy. You just want to remove yourself from any kind of potentially dangerous situation that could occur. Be mindful of, the various structures and things like that. Like
exits or what have you, whether you're, especially if you're indoors and even outdoors as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Obviously, alcohol, that plays a big factor in this. It's already going to be rowdy. It gets a little extra rowdy when you throw in the libations. So what should people know?
So with alcohol, there's kind of two situations. If you're consuming it yourself and you get injured, that can affect your personal injury claim. It doesn't bar you from making one, but can diminish your recovery. And then if you get injured by somebody else because of their alcohol consumption, there are liability that could be imputed onto the owner or operator, potentially the security, or also the liquor licensees or vendors in some scenarios.
So again, I'm glad you talked about, the liabilities, because sometimes, whether you sign waivers or what have you, you kind of put yourself in that situation. So, how much of it is your responsibility versus their responsibility when you, sign away here?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So with waivers, it's really important to know that waivers are really a deterrent from pursuing a claim. They're not a bar and they're not bulletproof. So just because you sign a waiver does not mean you cannot bring a claim. That's the most important thing. A lot of people don't understand that. And safety generally is everybody's collective responsibility. There are certain things that can make the owner-operator, security, or as I mentioned, the liquor vendors liable for certain things.
Right.
But personal injury claims are very fact-specific and nuanced.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the circumstances in which you're injured.
Yeah, because a lot of times, obviously, the venue or the business, they want to protect themselves, so hence, sign on the dotted line there. What about teenagers, obviously dealing with minors? What should parents and teenagers know when they enter in these big festivals, venues?
Yeah, so with parents and teenagers, it's important to have conversations ahead of time, kind of explain the risks. While they can be fun, there can be a lot of temptation, drinking, other kind of drugs and things like that. So it's just important to have conversations ahead of time about safety, what to avoid, be mindful again of crowds and escalation, because when you're in the middle of a crowd, things can get dangerous quick, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Jackson Ross, thank you. Great information and great advice. We appreciate it.